That was really good. Yeah, I read a book about him. He was a pretty good guy.
Yeah.
There was a lot. He was like Carter. A lot of people didn't like him at the time, but I think he did a okay job. I'm from St. Louis. I'm from Missouri, so he was one of the Missouri people.
Well, I'm from right above you in Iowa.
Yeah. Now, how'd you get to Colorado? From work?
No, well, I found just got out of college and I was interviewing, and my college roommate wound up in Denver, and I interviewed Minneapolis, too damn cold. So I called him up and I said, "You want a roommate?" And he said, "Sure, come on out." So I said, "Write down the 4 biggest companies out there and get me phone numbers." And I got a job with the first one, Gates Rubber Company.
Now, is Coors one of the bigger places out there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had about 15 years ago, I had prostate cancer. So I had it removed at Hopkins, at John Hopkins. And you go in on a Tuesday and you stay till Friday. And I woke up, after the operation in his room, real dreary. And Adolph Coors' son is in the other bed.
Hey.
And he's a religious guy, and he supports a lot of like the Society of Jesus Christ and stuff. And about the third day I'm there, I had talked to him. After the first day I was just out of it, and he was out of it. And then the second day I was talking to him, and he just told me he owned a box company in Colorado. And then then Emily saw his name, so figured out who he was. But the third day he was talking to the nurse about how the world was going to end. And Nicholas, my youngest son, was about 11 at the time. And he just was sitting there and goes, "Well, Mr. Coors, if the world's going to end, why did you get your prostate taken out?"
Oh,
And I thought, "Nicholas, you're a pretty smart guy." Here comes Jim.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
He wanted a private nurse or he wanted a private room, and they wouldn't give it to him.
I get to
Hey, Jim.
Hey, Jim.
Oh, Jim.
How do?
Hello.
Yeah, I read the latest thing you sent out, Jim. That was pretty cool. About
I like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I mean, I think about it now because I'm about 10 years younger than you. And I think when I talk to people now, like my grandmother used to always say, "Oh, he was vaccinated with a phonograph needle." And sometimes I'll say that, but I realize the people I'm talking to don't even know what a phonograph needle is.
Oh, it's true. It's true. And my wife is only 4 years younger than I am, but she can't relate to some of the stuff in there. And I said, our house, we didn't have television until, I was probably 13, 14 years old. And then and internet, good God, that was years later.
Mm-hmm.
And it was different. I mean, it was different time.
We listened to radio.
Listen to the radio, sure, absolutely. And that was it. We had Monday, Wednesday, and Friday was let's see, it was the Bobby Benson's Ranch or something like that.
Bobby Benson's B-Bar B Ranch or something.
B-Bar B, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
At 5:15 came Superman, and at 5:30 came Captain Midnight, and at 5:45 came Tom Mix.
And then we had Amos and Andy and
Amos and Andy was on Tuesday nights. Yeah, I remember, sure.
Charles Carroll and Freeman Gosden.
But my wife, even 4 years younger than I am, didn't remember any of that because she didn't experience that.
Well, the thing I try to tell kids about is we all used to watch this. We all had the same input. We had the news was the news.
That's right.
And when the Beatles were on, I remember going to school the next day and everybody watched that. Ed Sullivan was a big deal.
Ed Sullivan was a big deal. The Beatles was what, 1962, 3, 4, somewhere in there?
Yeah.
I remember.
Well, and today you talk about the Kingston Trail. Very few people know anything about them.
Yeah.
True indeed.
And we got to party with them. Well, not the originals, but
Yeah. Well, yeah, now when I see a lot of the bands come up, there's like, maybe there's one person in the band that's still there.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Hey, Gim, who were some of the early general managers of the clubs when you started? Like in Boston and New York, the managers
Well,
that are
New York,
memorable.
New York was Bob McKenzie.
McKenzie.
He was around for a while.
Hey, Peter.
Hey,
Hello,
Peter.
everyone.
How you doing?
I'm just checking in.
Well,
Doing
he
fine.
stayed, Mackenzie stayed around for a while because I even met him, you know, in the
Oh, yeah.
early 70s. He'd come down from Mardi Gras.
I'll tell you a funny story about Mackenzie. He was the manager, and he had let's say was romantically interested in Alan, and Alan was Alan later became Joel's first wife. And those of us who were lucky enough to be invited to Joel and Alan's wedding, we saw the wedding of the century. It was really quite a production. It was really something. And of course, they got divorced, and Alan moved to Florida and all that kind of stuff. But Mackenzie was the first one to find Alan.
Did he keep his job?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh
Even though
yeah.
I was interested in
In fact-
Joe's wife?
In fact, Eileen and I used to double date with Mackenzie and Alan. It was kind of funny. You know, we go to movies and things. It was really strange.
So when did Roger get involved? Because Roger's not that old.
No, Roger came by, kind of did his training in New York. I mean, like the musicians and the management guys would do the same thing. And they would come and get their feeling for how things went, what all the procedures were, you know, what the accountant does and what he doesn't do, and all that kind of stuff. And you know, how do you manage musicians? Because that's a trick. And so Roger came through and went through that.
I wonder when he came through, what year? 68, 70?
Oh, I was still there, so it had to be late 60s.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because he had told me that he and Fred drove up to New York the first time together. But I don't know where they were.
I've met Fred, but I don't remember him. So he wasn't, he was there. I think Roger came through, went to New Orleans, and then came back and did with Fred.
Hmm.
So they were
That's a
friends from
I don't
high
know.
school.
I don't know that. That's a guess.
Because when I worked at the Mustache, I thought Roger was 15, 20 years older than us, but I think he was about 5 years older.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Booze can do that to you.
Oh, yeah.
So
Peter, what's your weather down in Florida? Is it?
Today's a beautiful day. We just came back taking a walk.
Oh,
It's in
good.
the 80s.
Oh,
And
nice.
like 2 days, maybe 3. And it was really cold, and it's supposed to get cold tonight or tomorrow, I think. High in 60.
Jim, did you get that big snowfall?
No, the big snowstorm went to the east of us. We got, we're getting, well, probably the world's worst weather right now. It's 28-degree rain. So the rain falls on cold pavement and freezes. So now we're getting crust of ice on everything.
Yeah.
It's dangerous as hell out there. So the answer is don't go outside and don't try to walk.
Yeah.
My
couldn't do it.
sister lives on
We got about
Long
10.
Island, and she got 17 inches. My buddy in Fort Wayne, Indiana got 12.
We got 10.
We didn't get
Yeah,
any.
it's a little freaky. There's a lot of storms that have come up and come up the coast and have kind of taken a right turn when they get to Long Island. So Long Island's been getting crushed the last 2 storms, whereas we're only got a little bit. We got a foot last week, but And it's mostly all turned into an icy slush mix right now. So weather didn't go above freezing for about a week. And then yesterday it went up to 45. It started melting all the drifts. And then the rain came on top of it. Now it's all frozen solid. So we got these goddamn glaciers out in the yard.
We had a -2 day before yesterday, overnight.
Yeah, well, the temperature this morning was 45 degrees. The temperature right now is 22. So it's kind of glazed ice out there.
Yeah.
We're gonna be in the 20s for the next week, it says. So I can't wait for warmer weather.
Yeah.
Where are you, Jim? I can't remember.
I'm on the western end of Connecticut. I'm about a mile from the New York border.
Uh-huh.
I'm about an hour. Well, it's about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on traffic from my house to New Haven. It's about 45 minutes to New York City, going the other way.
Uh-huh.
What is the town?
Ridgefield, Connecticut, just south of Danbury, if you know where that is.
Hey, I'm on a Zoom meeting. Could you give me a call back later? Thank you.
Well, like Mark Twain said, if you in New England, if you don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes. It's going to change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, we are right. If you think about it, the climate here is rather remarkable because we go from Arctic in the wintertime to tropical in the summertime. It's very frequently warmer here in July than it is in Miami. You know, we'll get up into the 90s and 100 with the humidity and all that, but it'll last a couple of months, and then the fall will come and the leaves will change, and then they're going to get nice and cool. Then the winter comes and we got all this damn snow and frozen stuff. It's you got to be flexible weather-wise if you're going to live around here.
How was it in France? Was it Paris?
Nearby.
Okay.
The climate in France is much like the Northwest in the U.S. If you're familiar with the climate in San Francisco, maybe even Seattle, where it's in the wintertime, it's more like 40 and 50 and rain, but it can be like that in June too. I mean, I've played in France. I played tennis on Christmas Day, in the neighborhood tennis court, but I've also, seen 40 and rain in June. So it's
Yeah, I think Mark Twain said that the coldest winter he's ever spent was summer in San Francisco.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. I remember that now. Yeah, so that's what France. That's what northern France, all of Belgium, Netherlands, they're all like that. Germany. You got to get good weather. You got to go south. As soon as you hit the Spanish border, it starts to improve.
I was 6 months in Belgium, and it's kind of dreary in the winter.
Oh, it dreary as hell. I used to have to take trains from Paris to Brussels fairly frequently. And as you drive through, as you go across the Belgian countryside, you look out and see all the Brussels sprouts growing. And then you realize, with their shitty climate, that's about the only thing you could possibly get to grow there.
Yeah, it's pretty dismal.
Yeah.
When
you were in Belgium, did you go to Bruges and see the pretty city there? Yeah, that's a lovely city.
Yeah,
I like it. Pretty city.
Yeah.
Chocolate. A lot of chocolate there.
Oh, Brussels is in chocolate.
And lace.
Right across from the train station was the Lindt factory outlet. So every time I went up there, I'd come home with a bundle of chocolate. Which great.
They had good lace too. Belgian lace. If you wanted to bring back
Belgian lace is pretty. Yeah, it's still there. They still have craftsmen doing that.
That was always a good gift for a lady.
You bet.
All I know, recently, when
Belgian
I-
Town Square, that's probably one of the prettiest squares I've ever seen, the main square in town.
The Grand Place, the Grand Place is very nice, yeah.
Yeah, really nice.
The mustache was just around the corner.
Is that right?
Was it really? Was it really? Oh
Yeah.
my.
It was real close to Grand Plaza.
You know what I was thinking the other day, that back at the Mustache, we used to play songs like take the 3/4 songs, the waltz medleys, Take Me Out to the Ball Game, Daisy,
Oh, yeah.
Daisy, East
Yep,
Side,
yep.
West Side.
Yep.
And everybody knew the words to those songs back then. Can you imagine playing that today? Nobody would know them.
That's true. That's
And I
true.
remember when I was first starting out as a side banjo player, Les Muscat saying, look, you got to do a waltz medley, at least one waltz medley every set. You know, at least that's the way he called the tune. So I started doing that, you know,
Sure.
at least once a set, a waltz medley, put your arms back and forth and swaying back and forth, and it worked. But today, can you imagine people singing East Side, West Side?
Wow, yeah.
I can't imagine anybody under 30 knowing the words at all. You'd have to be at least 50,
Yeah,
probably 70.
that was the joy. And Peter will tell you this, playing in Wildwood, New Jersey, all those Philadelphia people knew every word to every song, huh, Peter?
Yeah, that's
Every
right.
word to every song. I mean, they were singers. We did more. We'd start the song off and stop the band, just let them sing. You know? Yeah. It ain't like that now.
I remember one
that
night,
was, that was one of the marketing secrets of the whole Mustache formula, is to let people entertain themselves.
That's right. Stop the band and let them sing.
I remember
one night in the Mustache, this French guy came up and he said, play Coton-Fille. Coton-Fille, I know what the, oh, cotton fields.
Yeah.
So we played cotton fields and he came, took us 4 dimes. 4 cents.
four musicians, 4 dimes.
Yeah,
Oh, I see.
I remember when we played in for Kingston Trio up in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Jim, were
That
you
was-
there for that?
That was nice. Yeah, I enjoyed that.
But we were playing on the stage in the big field house, the big concert, and every time Joel would break the band to let him sing, they had a tuba player in the back row. I don't even know who he was. It wasn't Danny, but he kept playing through the breaks, and that kind of negated everything Joel and the band was trying to do.
I wonder who that was.
I don't
wonder who
know.
that- I'm
The
trying
tuba
to.
player kept playing through the breaks.
I don't remember who the tuba player was.
It was driving me crazy. I turned around and I said, "Wait, you got a break." But I don't even know who it was. But
I don't remember.
but he wouldn't break. He kept playing boom, 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 through it all. I said, "Wait a minute, that's a break."
That was fun though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was fun. If the tuba player would learn how to lay out.
Yeah.
guys, don't mean to cut it off, but I always came called in to check in. I got some place to go. Take care.
All right, Peter. Thanks for
Okay.
checking in. Good
All right,
to see you.
Peter,
Take it
thanks
easy.
for coming by.
All right.
See you next time, Pete.
Yep.
Okay, Pete.
Well, I don't have too much going on, but I got a couple John clips if you want to see them.
Sure.
Sure, why not?
Okay. Give me a second. Let me figure out what I'm doing.
There was only one time when we had trouble in New York where guns were pulled. And we had, and the only thing that saved everybody was, for some reason, everyone knew what to do. They were sitting near the exit and the back of next to the band. And they were cops from Long Island and they got drunk. And one of them had a wife who was pregnant with them. And all the waiters just ran over and we just pushed them out the damn door. And then slammed the door behind them. So these guys called the cops, and we had the 10th precinct was there. And the precinct was in our pocket. Every Christmas, I took care of them. Every Christmas, every time they would come to me a couple of weeks before. Okay, we got so many cops in the cars. We got the captain. And I have an envelope ready for them. So all during the year, the whole rule was, if there's any trouble, get it out of the club. Because if you get it out of the club, you don't have to worry about your license. And so we got them out of the club. They called the cops. The cops came. Fortunately, my man was on duty. He brought us into the office. And we just had laid brand new carpet in the office. And this son of a bitch was so drunk, he'd light a cigarette and then he would throw it on the floor. And it was that acrylic type of carpet and would burn a hole in the carpet. And Mackenzie was with me because I went bush when I seen him do it. The second time was enough for me. And Mackenzie had to pull me off him and pull me away. And the cop said, you got to get out of here. And I just wanted. And the guys were dumb. They were cops from Long Island. They were young cops. They all thought they were Wyatt Earp. They had their guns. Unfortunately, New York cops were older and they knew what they talked some sense into it. But that was the only time I ever saw a problem in any of the clubs that I've ever been in.
All right.
Hey,
I'll tell you what, New Orleans,
Hey,
in
hey,
New York,
Roger.
I never saw a problem ever. In New Orleans, very few problems with cops. And I mean, what's y'all's experience? I don't remember too much going on.
Well, New Orleans, working the door, the cops, we
You
couldn't do
kidding
no
me?
wrong. The cops they were on our side.
Is this live?
That wasn't live. John's dead. Now we're
Are we
live.
live now?
Live now.
I wanted to talk about throwing people out of the club in New Orleans. Like Tom said, if you work the door, there was a cop usually on each corner. You could get them to the doorway right away, but I can remember throwing people out, and I went over to see what's going on. I said, we're gonna throw this guy out. I said, okay, so I jump in the pile. The guy stands up and I'm holding on to him. I look down, my feet aren't touching the ground. So I let go. I said, get him out of here.
Well, I remember one big, I think, Norwegian sailor. He was in the back of the club and
Yeah.
Billy and I are throwing him out. And Billy says, I'm glad you're with me. And I said, Billy, it doesn't matter who's with you. This guy starts swinging, we're in trouble.
Really?
But you just had to keep the sailors moving. As long as you kept them
Keep
moving.
moving toward the door.
Yeah.
That's right.
But I do remember the night that it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. It was a Saturday night. We just wanted to close. And there were these two guys from Mississippi with their girlfriends there, two short guys. And they just wouldn't leave. And finally something happened and Kent got pissed and he picks one of them up and throws him out the door. And, the street's closed, but they open it up about 2 o'clock and you hear the brakes squeal and Kent turns around. Oh shit. They opened the street.
Yeah, one night we threw somebody out and it was late like that and the street cleaner was coming. And the street cleaner just sort of swirled this guy around in the big Brussels and threw him out the other side of the street cleaner with a, oh my God, I hope he's all right.
oh. That doesn't sound like well.
Well, it was Bourbon Street late, time to throw the people out so we could go out and have a good time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
one
'cause
time, we're up on a bandstand and we said, last call for alcohol. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here, that kind of stuff. And at that same time, we're making that announcement, last call, this big Marine walks in and orders a pitcher of beer. Of course, we're going to sell it to him, So he's got like 3/4 of a pitcher of beer sitting on a table and his mug. He's drinking. And at this point, The waiters are stacking chairs, picking up the ashtrays, and this guy's sitting there drinking his drink. And Tim Shea, genius,
Oh, yeah.
walks up to the guy and said, "Hey, asshole, it's time to go." And the guy stood up and popped Tim right in the face, knocked him out. Knocked him out. Yeah. So that's the extent of the fight. That's that. And then Tim became a federal judge.
Oh,
We had names for some people, but there's one guy came in all the time. He's coming into the bar and he'd wave his hand. He was called Super Drunk. And he had a construction hat on all the time. And he wouldn't cause any problems. He would just keep drinking and smiling. And pretty soon he would leave. Oh, God, here comes Super Drunk again.
Roger, what year, we were talking before you got on, what year did you start up with the mustache, and who were the managers that you worked under when you first started? What years, and who were the managers?
It was the Cape
What
Cod.
clubs?
Yes, I started in Cape Cod in 65. With
65.
Jim was the guy's name. He was from Chicago. He was a big guy, looked like a football player. And when I went up there with Fred, Fred kept saying, "Oh, I can get you a job, I can get you." I said, "Okay, fine." We hooked up in Missouri. And anyway, short story, I went up there and I told my one of the job, and the guy said, "Well, man, I don't have any openings or anything." I said, "Well, what do you mean?" He said, "Well, can you paint?" I said, "Yeah." Well, out behind the mustache was this big barn. So we're going to paint this barn and fix this up because this is where all those people stay. They sleep back here. I said, "Okay." So we did that. Then as the club opened up, he said, "I'm going to give you a job with parking cars in the back." So he gave me a flashlight. And so I had to park all the cars. Then in the next week, a spot opened up and I went in and started waiting on tables.
That was 65.
Yeah, so I started off as a parking lot attendant for the mustache. Worked my way up. And then
65 was the second year of the Cape Cod Club.
yeah, that was a fun club.
64 was the first year because I managed it the first year.
And it burnt down, I think in 66 maybe. You remember when it burned down?
It wasn't too far after that. I don't remember I don't remember it because I was in New York by then.
Yeah, because it was always suspicious because it burnt down when the club was closed. And there was never, I don't know, investigation in it. But then we opened up in Dennisport.
Right.
We had the mustache was in the basement part, and then Proper Bostonian was an upper level. And Joe's sister ran that for a while.
Yeah, I played that one.
Jennifer was her name. Yeah,
That
that
was
was,
a nice club. I enjoyed it.
yeah, it was a
Small, but nice.
It wasn't as nice as the original mustache because original mustache was like an old speakeasy that was out in the country. Like it was.
The original mustache, the club that in Harwich
Yeah,
was a speakeasy,
yeah, yeah.
and in my office there was a secret entrance. So and with full view of the entrance walkway or the driveway.
Uh-huh.
So that if the feds ever came up there, this is for speakeasy time. So if the feds ever came up the driveway, you could exit quickly out the back through the closet. I mean, the closet had a secret staircase that took you down and out the back. And
Didn't know that part. Yeah.
I blundered onto it. I just discovered. I said, "What the hell is this? The closet has a false back. Look at it." And there's a stairway. Where does it go? Well, it goes out to the barn in the back. That's where it goes.
The building out back was called the Chicken Coop.
Well, that's where we stayed. Yeah, I had the royal suite. It was next to the head, so you could
It was
easy access in the middle of the night.
like going to summer camp or something. It was crazy.
It was brutal.
And during the day, we would sometimes head toward the beach or would play. I was up there when Duggard was up there and other people out of New York.
Duggar Moore, sure. I remember Duggar Moore very well.
He was a wild man. And
Yes, he was.
he'd make pictures and he'd call them EOS. And they were just vodka and gin and lemon. And we'd be out playing Frisbee holding a picture of this yeah, drinking it while we're throwing a frisbee back and forth. After afternoon, and then the lake behind it was Pleasant Lake, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Biggest, that was the biggest lake on Cape Cod.
Well, that was so much fun. Fred and I got some windsurfs, sun sails, I think they're called, small little sailboats.
Yep.
We were out there. We didn't know much about anything about sailing, being from Missouri. But all of a sudden, the damn storm came up, and we thought that was the greatest thing. We were out there sailing around, finally made it back to the beach. That was a beautiful lake. And when I first got there, I went down there and I thought, Jim, look at all these clams on the beach. And someone said, what are you going to do with us? We're going to eat. I said, you can't eat those. You need to just go to the real beach, the ocean. You can't eat lake clams.
No.
That was, we didn't know any better. Yeah, that was a fun experience. The fun thing I had, I sold Fred my car so I could get to Cape Cod. And, but when I got there, sometimes I'd take off in the evening when I wasn't working. And when I was growing up, I remember We Were Sure to Fall in Love with Old Cape Cod by, what was that woman's name who sang that song?
Patty Page.
Patty Page, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Anyway, I went out to this little bar sitting by the beach, and I played that song over and
guys.
over. Hey.
Yep, it's right time for Ira.
That's right on time.
You're on time, all right. Now, someone tell me again, how do I get some pictures up on here? Where do I go?
Try
Share screen?
if you like move your cursor, you should see the bottom of the screen that says there's a green thing that says share screen.
I see that.
Okay, then try that, and then when you open, then it'll open up. You'll see everything on your desktop and hit the picture that you want to put up.
Oh, great, I can't find it. I mean, it shows things, but it didn't show everything on my.
Well, if you took the
desktop.
before you share, if you pull the picture up on your screen,
Oh,
Yeah.
before I share it. Oh, hell, what do I
then
know?
it's easier to find.
No shit. Okay, so I just go to my photographs because that's where they are. And then when do I hit the picture I want to share?
Yeah, so it takes over part of your screen. Then when you hit share screen, it'll be easier to see it.
Okay, I got a picture I want to share now. I'm off of the. I don't see share screen anymore.
We'll move your
Cursor down.
Question
move
to
your
the
cursor
bottom.
down.
It says explore. Where's I fell out of our meeting. I can hear you, but I don't see.
We see you fine.
Well, shit.
That's
How
what
the
I
hell
was
that
thinking.
happened?
I was thinking that.
You might have to at some point find out where you might have to quit sharing. Did you ever quit sharing?
Quit sharing?
Yeah, quit because you told it to share, didn't you?
No, I'm on the photographs.
Okay.
When I hit the photograph, and I don't see share in it. It says share album, but I don't see where view. No, now I'm back in the. Because I have some pictures of Cape Cod I could show you guys, and other participants. Share screen. That's weird. I can see the photographs I want to share. I don't know how to open them up to show you guys can see them.
Well, what I was saying was if before you go to share screen, if you open it up and it takes over part of your screen, even if it covers up part of the Zoom, then you go down to share screen. And when you pop it up, it looks like it's a large part of the screen instead of being just a little part.
What shared the whole, it took up the whole screen. Because I guess I went into the photos, but I didn't separate out which picture I wanted to share maybe.
I don't know. I mean, when I get I'm so thankful I get this thing to work.
Well, I loaded my pictures up, like you told me. I can't.
You can have Tom's address. If you could send a picture to Tom, he could put it up.
Yeah.
Okay, let me back up here. What the hell? just a computer. It's overtaken my life. What the fuck's going on?
Why should you be different?
Well, if you open one of the pictures up, does it take your whole screen?
It shows me the picture, yeah, and it's in my photos.
Uh-huh.
And I went in and I clicked the picture I wanted to share, so it shows the whole screen.
God, if you could go to one of the edges and make it smaller, then you could play with it a little. I don't know.
Make it
Okay,
smaller and then play with it. Oh, that sounds good.
Well, we're always trying that.
I don't want to lose it. No. Okay, I made it smaller. So I can.
Okay. Now, if you go to the Zoom screen and you hit share screen, then
Okay.
you should, after you hit share screen, you should see it somewhere in this. It looks like it's your desktop on there.
Yeah, it does, but it doesn't show the picture that I want to share.
It should.
It says open system preferences. What the fuck?
Roger, last week I tried doing, I couldn't figure it out either, so don't worry about it.
Yeah,
I'm
Roger,
worried about it.
You need a teenager to help you.
I can
Yeah,
see
that's
the
true.
picture I want to share.
Some 11-year-olds will do it.
Well, how do
Love it.
I?
I got 4-year-olds that know this shit better. than
Yeah,
me.
they'll be able to
know.
do it back.
None of my sons are here. I have to. I see can share a screen. I see the green thing, and off to the far right in the corner, I see a picture I want to share.
So
Click on that picture right now. And then hit share screen.
I got the picture that I want to share in photos. I hit which one I want to share.
yeah, hit that.
I did,
Nothing happens. I can see because it's not up.
and then I could now I can go hit share screen.
Well, hit share screen and then tell me what you see when you do that.
I see just a whiteboard. It looks like a desktop, but nothing's on it.
Oh,
Just white with Finder unknown, photos unknown, desktop.
maybe you need to get that photo out of your photos folder. So it's on your desktop.
Why do you only put them up from the desktop, Tom?
That's where I put them up.
Well, I can't do that now, can I? I mean, I can put them over there, but they seem to go right back into the photo albums. Oh, well, I'll try again next week. Sorry.
Well, if you email me the photo album, I can put them up from here.
Well, I can't do that now, can I?
Well, you can try.
Okay, it says, I got a picture now that's taking up my whole screen. It's about the first crew that opened up the club in New Orleans. It's pretty interesting. But I don't know how to get that to you. It says,
Well, you should be able just to take that out of your photo file and
Right.
put it in the email that you're going to send me.
As an attachment.
Yeah, it'll make it an attachment.
well, how do I get to your email now? That's in the,
Well, you go to your email and you put in THOMWOLF@mac.com. Or you go to the email that I sent you on Wednesday that invites you to this, and then you
Oh,
just
yeah.
put,
well,
then
how
you
do-
just put
Just reply.
yeah.
the thing is, if I do that, won't I lose
No, you shouldn't.
being in the Zoom meeting?
Right, the Zoom meeting will be minimized, right, Tom?
I just think it's two different things. The Zoom meeting's up.
Yeah, I'm in the Zoom meeting back now.
So if you go to your mail, to that invitation I sent you, and then put respond, and then drop that photo in that, and then just hit send.
Okay.
Got something coming up right now.
Okay, now we see
What's that?
Is it a rabbit?
great rabbits saved.
Yeah, that's what I did. I could share.
What picture is that?
Oh, is that you, David?
Yeah, uh-huh. Now, how do I get rid of it?
You go up to the top and hit,
Okay,
yeah.
there we go. All right, that seemed easy enough.
Where are my
Yeah.
Crayolas? Okay, I had to go open my email again. Where the hell did it go?
So Ira, which clubs did you work in besides New York and New Orleans?
I was in Denver for a few weeks.
There you go.
I drove Russ up to the Cape, dropped him off for about 10 minutes. That was that. I never worked in there.
Oh,
We need Russ trying to figure out how to put a picture on the screen. That'd work.
Yeah. Russ Adams. What a trip that was.
Yeah, I got some pictures of Russ in the kitchen at Cape Cod. I could
Yeah.
just- These things open. Now I gotta find my damn email.
Are you shitting me?
So see, Roger, you can just go to,
That's right, man.
No
Are
shit,
you
man.
shitting
Are
me?
you shitting me?
Roger, you can go to the top of the Zoom meeting screen and just grab it and pull it to the side. And then you should see everything else that's on your screen.
I've got,
Just don't take it all the way too far off so you can't get it back.
yeah. I went back to the email you sent me.
Okay,
Right.
just hit reply.
Reply to sender, address unknown.
Right. And hit the paper clip, right, Tom? And
No,
attach the
just all you
picture.
gotta really do is hit reply and then drop it into
Now I
that.
want to add a photograph to it. Where in
Yeah,
hell-
just take the
That's
photo
the paper
from,
clip?
you should be able just to drop it on that email.
Right.
And it should just attach itself.
Okay, I'm in, shit, I need a 3D glasses here. I'm in the Zoom meeting on one side, my email's on the other side.
Yeah,
Now I want to get back to my photographs. Okay, they came in, but the email disappeared. Where did it go? Oh, wait, okay. Okay.
So here we have a handful of 70-year-olds trying to figure out technology.
Okay, here it comes. Send.
okay,
Did you get it?
not yet.
Well, I'm in Arizona, you know.
Waiting for the Pony Express.
You got that right. It says the email has been sent
Okay, I'm just waiting for it to,
to
So
load.
Tom should have it soon.
yeah, I thought I should have it, but it's, let me check. You guys talk for a minute while I,
Should I? Let me get another one here. There it goes. Is that it?
ding dong.
something happened.
Well, I remember you coming to New Orleans for Mardi Gras, working down there.
I love New Orleans Club.
It's a happening spot.
Who was the manager when that burnt down?
Who was the manager?
Eddie Ali. Eddie.
Oh, okay.
Was he? Yeah, I was probably working out in New York then.
He
It
was
says,
on Clarity.
What
yeah,
back?
Roger was over at Clarity next door.
yeah. Okay. It says attachment.
Okay, I got it.
Open it up. What is it? A picture of?
I can't wait to see this picture. Shit.
Better be
Maybe it's
Oh,
Pete in that
no, I
bathing
sent
suit,
the one,
Tom.
I sent the one of the girl from,
Hey,
Oh,
there it
there we
is.
go.
Hey, look at that.
this is the.
Yeah, that would go over really good now.
Yeah,
Oh.
that was a
But the-
crew that first opened up the Mustache in New Orleans. Now there's Brian Wallace right there in the center.
I see Brian, sure.
Yeah, he was sent down there to manage and open up. Now I'm going to show you where Keith Yorston is. Keith Yorston is up the second row in the center with glasses on.
Well, there's two guys with glasses.
Well, there's in the center. of
Okay, the
the-
very center, that's Keith Yorston. That's who you named the,
That's who the name is.
yeah.
And there's a Dalton Diamond. You might know Dalton Diamond.
Yeah.
He's on the far right.
Yep, I see him.
of
Oh,
second
yeah.
row.
Yep,
What
yep.
year was this?
This had to be, let me see, 65 probably, because that's when
Wow.
it opened, I believe. because I was down there in the spring of 65.
Hmm.
And it just opened up, and Fred and I were walking down Bourbon Street, and he said, I heard about this club that opened up. It's supposed to be really wild. Well, Fred and I were in the choir together in high school. So we said, let's go in there, we'll sing along. So we went in there 2 nights in a row. Then the third night we come down Bourbon Street, and this guy on the street says, look, here's our best customers. And and it was Joel. I didn't know who Joel was. He said, you guys want a job? And Fred took the job because he was going to school and living with his brother, who was a Baptist minister. And I was going to school at Cape Girardeau, Missouri, up the river a ways. So I had to go back. I thought I'd finish school for that.
SMU,
Huh?
SMU.
No,
Seven-
Cape Girardeau, Southeast Missouri State.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's where Russ Limbaugh started in Cape Girardeau.
Well, I didn't last there very long. No, because it was that's when I went home that summer and went on to Cape Cod. And of course went back down to New Orleans to work.
Where was
Yeah.
home, Roger?
Where's home?
Yeah, where
I
was?
Independence, Missouri.
Yeah, okay.
Home of Harry Truman.
Yeah.
That's right.
I had the great privilege of meeting Harry Truman a couple times. He got his hair cut when I was a little boy in the same barber shop my dad would take to get my hair cut in. This picture was hung all over the wall and everything. Then when I graduated from high school, right behind his library, there was a sort of extension of Central Missouri State College. And I was going to school there. And then one of our government classes, they said, we're going to go to the library and we're going to interview Harry Truman, who's still alive. And he was so quick and witty. This guy was unbelievable. So I said, I got to ask him a question. So I raised my hand. They called me. I said, President Truman, I understand you studied history a lot when you're in office. Did this help you make decisions? And his response was, well, if you study your history, you'd know. Everybody just laughed. And I just sit down. But he was that way. And when he left office, he took one guy with him. That was the guy, his special Secret Service guy who worked at Independence Police Department. He took him to Washington. When he left, he's the only guy that left with him. And he and his wife drove all the way back to Independence.
I heard that he got in his car and drove home.
Yeah, he said, screw you, I don't need you. I don't want any Secret Service or people around my house or anything. And
Harry was very much a man of the people.
oh yes,
Yes.
he was very much. I mean, and he would walk around Independence Square, and you couldn't keep up with him. He had a very fast walking gait, and his daughter Betsy was a piano player. And he said
Harry Truman was famous for his walks, and he would take a walk every day. And Mark Heater tells this story, and it's really his to tell. But since he isn't here, I'll tell it for him. As Mark told me one day, he said he and his brother decided that when Harry was in New York, he was staying at some hotel. I forget what. He came for a conference, but Mark said he and his brother decided they'd go in and join Harry on the walk. They were in high school at the time. And so they showed up and stood in front of the hotel, and sure enough, Harry comes out, and he says, "Good morning, boys. How are you?" And he says, "We're here to walk with you, sir." And so they did. They went on the walk with Harry, and Mark has more to the story, but that's the net of it. But
Nice.
it was kind of neat, That was before all this security stuff, and before anybody worried about assassinations and all. But he did have the Secret Service with him. But that was but Mark got on the bus or the train or whatever the hell it was that gets you from New Jersey to New York, and walked up the city and met Harry, and
That's
then
cool.
went on the walk with him. Funny.
He walked around Key West, I think, too.
Well, Key West, I
think-
was Charlie Borneman and I went down to Key West a couple of years ago, and one of the days I went to the Harry Truman's museum, because that's where that's where his winter White House was.
The Summer White House. Yeah, it was great. I've been there.
It's a really lovely exhibit. It really is.
Yeah.
It's very informative, and a lot of the stories, the docents will tell you all the stories about Harry and about the
Right down the block from Joe Terra Brothers' place.
That's not far.
Yeah, Captain Tony's.
Captain
Well,
Tony.
well, in Key West, nothing's too far from anything else, you know?
Right,
Right.
that's true. That's
But,
true.
Hey, Tom, put that picture up again, Roger's picture, and Gim, see if you can recognize who the banjo player was.
Okay.
I'll tell you who the banjo player was. Oh,
You
and
see him? You see
oh,
him?
no,
in
no, I have a picture of the original band that played there also.
okay, because I'm looking at the banjo player. He's to
There's
kind
two-
of the left of the center.
There's two of them. There's two
Yeah,
banjo players
two
back there.
banjo-
Oh, here they are, yeah.
One taller than the
Oh,
other.
yeah, right, yeah. I don't know who, I met
I
him.
can't I don't recognize them.
The J.R. Smith is a bass tuba player. He's over here on the far right, next to Dalton Diamond. And
I remember JR very well. Yeah,
and
he was fun.
the guy in the middle, all the way back, is a trombone player. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
Shit. Amazing.
Dalton Diamond was at the Carnegie reunion, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, they always told me that Ronnie opened up the New Orleans club on banjo, but I don't see him in this picture. Ron Bill.
No, Neil Underser, he did, I believe. I got that picture if I can just,
Who's that? Ron Bill?
yeah, Ronnie Bill. He and Neil Underser
Right.
opened the club up. And I got the rest of the, I'm trying to find, I got too much shit going on here. How do I get back into Zoom meeting? Here we go. Why is this picture staying there? Oh, there we go. Okay.
There you go.
Now I gotta find my, no, that's it. That's the, okay. Here's a picture of the, oh, there it is. Let me find the band. Oh, here's the band. Let me open, I gotta open Tom's email back up. Slide it over here.
They also told me that Vanisette did a lot of time in New Orleans. Is that
Bob Vanasek he was out of Denver
Yeah.
He
originally.
played in New York too.
Yeah, he came up to New
Oh,
York.
yeah. He was in New York.
I
And,
played side with Bob. And I keep in contact with his ex too, Danny.
I'm trying to get that picture there. I'm gonna give you.
when I got to New York the second time, Ira, you were managing the club, and a
Right.
guy by the name of Mike Swan was the band leader. You remember Mike?
Oh, yeah.
Mike was a good guy. Yeah, I'm in touch with him still. He's out on the coast now.
West Coast?
Yeah.
Mike
The
Swan.
Shakey's.
He came over from the Red Garter, didn't he?
Well, I don't know. He and I used to do the openings at Ed Sullivan show. We'd parade down the aisles and do the thing, then yaga dugga on the stage and clap your hands and warm the audience up for Ed Sullivan show.
I thought he came from the Red Garter.
He may have. I
think he
don't
did.
remember.
What kind of,
There wasn't much cross pollination between the mustache and the garter. We were kind of at war with each other.
a good war. That was Joel's thing. He wanted to put him out of business.
That's right.
And when I was in New Orleans and I started setting up all these programs and marketing programs, he told me, he says, well, your job is to put them out of business, okay? I said, okay. We did down in New Orleans. But the big mistake he made was going into Chicago and trying to put the Red Guard out of business. They were deeply established there and very well known and loved by everybody. And we opened up on State Street. I was in Denver at the time. And he said, I need you to come to Chicago. I said, well, why do I need to come to Chicago? He said, the manager there got sick. I don't know what he had. Anyway, he couldn't work anymore. He said, you got to come out here. I had this lady I was going to marry with me. And I had a little MGV. He said, drive on out here. And so I drove out there like an idiot. And that was the craziest time because we were getting the club open. I pull in, I didn't know what's been done, what hadn't been done. But I had to go out and buy all the equipment, tables, chairs, photographs. And I remember going to this one place I wanted to say, this guy down here has all the chairs and things you need that represent your type of club. So I walk in and we get down there and I'm in this big, nice, it looks like a U-Haul truck, but it's painted black with the logo of your father's mustache on the side. Real neat looking. And I was with Ian Bennett's brother. I forgot his name. Anyway, we pull up and then the guy said, no, you got to walk down this alley. So we walk down this alley, up these stairs, down a hallway. We walk in, there's this big guy sitting behind this big wood desk. I thought I was in a mafia picture or something. And so I told him what I wanted to do. He said, okay, that's fine. I got whatever you need and downstairs. So I pay him cash. I go downstairs. We load the truck up. I didn't know anything about Chicago, which way it was going. So I'm going back. Of course, you didn't have any phone to tell you where you're at. I'm going under this underpass and the truck doesn't fit through.
Oh, God.
So top of the truck, it's the underpass and pushes the top back about 2 feet. I said, oh, shit. It looked good. So I back up and had to back all the way up the ramp to get out. And I pull up in front of the club. Joel's in the club. I said, Joe. He said, what's wrong? I said, I have something I have to tell you and show you. I said, the truck didn't fit under the underpass. So Joe comes out, shakes his head, oh my God. He couldn't believe it. But he didn't, what was he going to do at that point? We just unloaded the truck with the equipment. And then we got I have pictures of that Chicago opening once I learned how to work all this. And the opening night was crazy. And it was just packed full of people and then all kinds of people. And then we were there and with our attorney was there, John Fairfield was there, Bob McKenzie was there, and I was there, and Joel was there. And this guy comes up and starts talking to us. He said, now listen, I'm part of the new regime, and there's certain rules we have to abide by here. I said, oh shit, wonder what that means. So he took us outside and talked to us, and our attorney walked with us. And we walked around the corner, and he and the attorney stepped off to the side and talked about something. It was us. I swore Al Capone was hiding somewhere. Quite an adventure. I couldn't handle Chicago out there a while. I went down to the lake and it was in November, I believe, or October. It was so cold, I couldn't stand it. I went back, got a hold of Joe, said, Joe, I can't stay here. I got to go back to New Orleans.
That was on Rush Street, wasn't it?
So anyway, I put another guy in charge to be the manager. I headed back to New Orleans.
How long was Chicago open, Roger?
Huh?
How long was Chicago open for?
I don't think it was open more than a couple of years, it seemed like. I would go up there. For a while, I was taking care of New Orleans, St. Louis, and Denver, and every once in a while shooting over to Chicago. And it was just, it was too difficult with two banjo nightclubs fairly close. Because when I was up there, I would go over to the Red Carter, and you couldn't get in. It was just absolutely packed. I mean, it was well established there, and that was a big no-no. But anyway, Joe wanted to try it out. It was crazy.
It was the opposite in New Orleans. The Mustache was packed, and 3 blocks away, the Red Garter was not packed.
Yeah, well, in the beginning, it was pretty even, and some of the band members played at both clubs. And
Bob played tuba in Chicago.
So it was but that's Joe's goal was luckily he didn't go out to where was San Francisco. That's where the Red Garter started, I think.
Right.
Right.
And he didn't. Thank goodness he didn't want to go out there. We tried to go to Salt Lake City one time. He and I, Joe and I were there looking around for clubs. That's always interesting. And
It's a great city, but it's Mormon country. So you're going to sell to a teetotaling crowd. I mean, it's
Imagine me going to St. Louis or Salt Lake City. My last name is Mormon.
Yeah, it's St. Louis was fun for a while, and so it's in Gaslight Square.
Yes.
And that was fun. And one of the guys that worked for me up there was an FBI agent. And I thought, oh, well, this is interesting. I'm very careful what I say and do. Real nice guy. I can't remember his name. He was a real nice guy. But I like St. Louis. It was fun. I know Anheuser-Busch, of course, was a king there. So
Hmm.
they always tried to get our account.
Hey, guys, I got to cut out. Got some neighbors coming over in a little bit. So
Okay,
All right.
Dave. See you next
Okay,
week.
David,
have a
Take
good
care.
take
week.
care.
See you next
See you
week.
next week.
Okay.
Take
You
care.
know,
Bye.
I have to go. I have to go too because I'm cooking dinner tonight. So I got to.
Okay.
What's for dinner?
I got to get started.
Why don't you have Chris cook for you?
Yeah, right. Why not? Sounds like a plan.
All right, Gim, see you next week.
Hey, Tom,
Yes, sir.
if I email you some of these photographs, you can put them on
Yeah.
there probably a lot easier than I
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
I won't email you a lot. I might.
No, email me as many as you want because we don't, we've used the pictures we have so many times that
Right.
I got
need
pictures
more.
from when I first started working at Cape Cod up till the big fire. So
Those would be
Yeah.
fun.
and any
Yeah.
ones you have in New Orleans too, because we always have New Orleans people on.
yeah, I have some things that some people were asking about the drunkard. I have ads from the drunkard and a picture
Yeah.
of the newspaper ad with the Alex Miller in it and everything.
See y'all later.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
take care. Stay.
Okay,
Thanks,
Roger,
Steve.
you got any pictures of Point Pleasant?
And I don't.
Hmm.
I have ads from Point Pleasant. What I had from Point Pleasant, when you walked in, there was this the liquor display cabinet, a nice wooden one with a glass front on it. I took that home. But that's the only thing I have. I love Point Pleasant. I forgot who I went. Myself and about 3 other guys. We rented a house down there during the summer. And we just take turns going down there and hanging out. I went down there to work. That way I wouldn't have to drive back to New York. It was, it was just a fun time. I had a fun place.
All right,
Okay, I'm
guys.
gonna check out, guys.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll see everybody next week.
All right.
All
Bye,
right,
guys.
bye
Hey, Roger,
care.
send me as
Thanks,
many
guys.
as you want.
Okay, I'll do that this week. Okay.
Okay,
I'll
thanks.
laugh next week.
All right. See you guys later.
Take care. Bye now.
Bye-bye.